Okay, so now that we found our ribbons and our ornaments, I wanted to look for some florals for our theme. And as you guys can see, I've chosen some flocked florals like this hydrangea, an orchid, and this beautiful magnolia that is going to tie in with all of my elements. So now I'm gonna take you to a vignette and show you how all this looks put together. All right, you guys, so now that we have gathered our materials, which are our ribbons, our ornaments, and our florals, this is what the end cap looks like. And as you guys can see, they've added some of those flocked stems right here with the flocked flowers, and some of the ornaments, they tied in all together with some glass items like this Christmas tree that I think is a snow globe. Yes, it is a snow globe. And they added this beautiful, let me get out of this frame for a second so I can bring it out, but they brought this little deer that I show you guys how to put together last year. And if you haven't seen this video on how to put together this beautiful deer with the floral arrangement with the ribbons and all the pics, I'm gonna link it on the icon right now, but I wanna show you how to decorate the mantle using all of these items. And I went ahead and tied it with one of my wires. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go over to this corner and I'm gonna tie those wires into one of my bristles, directing the ribbon this way, because we're gonna attach all three of the bows. Now for this gorgeous one that looks like a belt, isn't this just absolutely stunning? I'm gonna go ahead and grab my wires and I'm gonna go ahead and put it right on top of it. And as you guys can see, it's creating a bigger bow with different types of ribbons. And I absolutely love the selection of these ribbons. Like I said, the full list of the materials is going to be down in the description box if you guys wanna go ahead and see where these were purchased. All right, so then I'm gonna go ahead and add this other third one, and look at this. You have your focal point right here. You have all of your ribbons going down. So what I did next is I'm gonna go ahead and do some of these loops, and I'm gonna give it probably about a 6 to 8 inch loop right here. And I'm gonna grab these bristles and I'm gonna twist them to secure my soup right here. Now you have to go as far in as you can into the garland. That's very important, whether you're doing a wreath or a Christmas tree or a mantle swag, because that way, as you can see, it's allowing you to look like it's actually growing out of the garland instead of just laying on top of the garland flat. So I'm gonna do one more right here, and then I'm gonna leave enough for a loop right here for a tail. So I'm gonna go ahead and go down like this. And by the way, thank you guys so much for the support this Christmas season. I also love reading your comments. You know, in the last video with the Christmas tree, the rose gold Christmas tree, I told you how I make fun of because I say like so, and then also I'm gonna go ahead so much, but you guys have been so supportive and you've been really giving me some encouragement words, and I really just want to make sure that I let you know how much I appreciate that. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie it right here. Then I'm gonna do yet another one right here, grab my bristles and then twist like this, and then leave my tail like that, so it repeats the same as this side right here. So now with this gorgeous ribbon, which is probably my favorite one I've used this holiday season, and I know I say that all the time about all of the ribbons that I use, but you just have to look how gorgeous this is. I'm gonna go ahead and do another one right here, and I want this to end in the middle, so I'm gonna go and give it a bigger loop, and I'm only gonna do 2, and I'm gonna attach right here with some of these garland bristles, and then I'm gonna do one more right here, just to make sure that it ends in the middle. How gorgeous is this, you guys? Now, they don't have to be twin sisters on each side. They can be cousins. They don't have to be exactly the same, as long as they look alike, like they are related, but they're not twin sisters. And how gorgeous is this? So this is step number 1. We're gonna add some twinkle lights to this swag. So let me get those ready and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about this string of lights that is absolutely so much fun. And the reason why I like it is because it has multiple strings of lights and it's just all weaved in together. I absolutely love it. It comes in this box. Our friends at Shinoda have this available, so their information is going to be down below. And the way I like to install them, now let me explain this because it's gonna sound crazy, but I want to put them after the ribbon, because if I lay it under the ribbon, you're gonna lose most of your lights. So it is better to take care of your ribbon first and then your lights, and that way we can weave them in and out and you get the maximum show for your lights, because they are not necessarily inexpensive. So you want to make sure that you get as much show as you can from them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, and it comes with this connector, so you could connect multiples if you wanted to. Let me see if it tells me how many. This is 15 foot, 270 lights, and so 270 lights was gonna be enough for this, especially after the ribbon, and I'll show you. So it comes with this connector that you can connect another string to it if you wanted to, if you were doing a tree, which I will show you when we decorate my Christmas tree here for the house. So I'm gonna go ahead and bend it up, then I'm gonna grab the last bristle right here, and I'm just gonna twist my bristle into that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and just very lightly and loosely, and I'm gonna skip the ribbons, put them like this, and I absolutely love the twinkle. Every once in a while, what you wanna do is you wanna pinch one of your bristles to secure it, but like I said, very loosely, because you don't wanna lose the effect of the lights. You wanna make sure that you get maximum effect for the lights. And as you guys can see, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this bristle right here and just basically fold the tip to secure it, and voila. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one, tuck it in, and let it out. And whenever you feel like you must, just go ahead and pull that bristle tip down, and look, it secures it right where you want it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one right here. How gorgeous is this? And I love the fact that it has this twinkle motion, and only certain ones tinkle and then the other ones stay. Did I just say tinkle? I mean twinkle. And the other ones stay put, and that way it gives it an effect of movement to your design. So I'm going to go ahead and skip my ribbons so they show, and I'm gonna go under all of my ribbons, then I'm gonna go over, we're gonna come over here, and right here I'm gonna go ahead and just fold that tip down, secure it right there, because like I said, you don't want to push them too far in, you will lose them, and there's no point in, you know, spending some money on these beautiful lights. I'm gonna cross you over to this side if you're going to go ahead and lose them. So I'm gonna put this guy right here, make sure that they're not attached together, like right here. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna go over the bow, make sure that I push him into the bow, push him right here like this, and then we're gonna hide our connector right there with my ribbon. And look at that, how fun is this? And what I like about this particular string is because, like I said, it has multiple lights, so you can really get maximum effect if you can just take your time and fluff these lights, and they really show really beautifully. Take a step back and fluff them the way you want it, but I really recommend to pull these lights forward. We're gonna get some pics of flocked greenery. That's gonna be our third step, so I'm gonna get all of that ready, and I'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. Okay, so the last step we're gonna do to finish this part of the swag is to add some ornaments. So I went ahead and pre-wire them. As you guys know, I like to use the 22 gauge, and I just go ahead and wire it because look how easy it really is to add your ornament. So you basically just find a place for your ornament, you push, you grab this wire, and then that way it stays exactly where you want it. So I'm gonna add that one right there, and I'm gonna add one more right here. If you guys know, I like to do clusters, but look, they stay exactly where you want. And then for the bows, always start with your focal points. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this one right here, and just grab my wire and twist it around. Look at that. Then I have this really shiny one. It's kind of heavy actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the bow right here, pull it where I need it to be, then find the bristle, and it'll stay exactly where I want it. I'm gonna do one last one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add probably up here, so that way they are clustered together, and just go ahead and use your wire, and look how pretty that is. You continue all the way over here. So I am gonna go ahead and finish this side by adding my ornaments. So basically just grab your ornament, pull. Look at that, you guys. This is a really good trick to know. I'm going to go ahead and add this one maybe over on this side right here. You want to be generous with your ornaments to create that beautiful focal point. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab one last one right here. I'm gonna pull all the way down, and that way we have a cluster of 3 ornaments. We fluff our bows, make sure they all show, are gorgeous like this. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you to the studio. I'm going to create the third focal point for here, and this fireplace mantle will be finished. Let's do that. All right, everyone, so we're gonna start with part 2 of our mantle decor, and I've chosen this really gorgeous glitter reindeer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take that tag off from his ear, and then I went ahead and chose this really pretty garland that I flocked myself. Once again, that flocking video will be down in the description box. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of the bristles from each side and just give them a light twist. And I'm gonna do that all the way to the bottom, so both of the garlands are unified into just one. And then that way he looks like he has a wreath around his neck. Make sure that you do it securely where you pull and it doesn't come off like that, so it looks like a swag going down. You can still see his feet. All right, so the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my gold ribbon, and I'm gonna start right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my bristles and then just twist, and I'm gonna go ahead and do some pretty loops, smaller because you don't wanna overpower and overtake over on the neck of your reindeer. So I'm gonna go ahead and cross the ribbon over to this side and just do a loop right here. These loops are probably about 4 inches. So we can cover some of that garland as well, and make sure that you weave it into your garland right here. Look at that, how pretty is that? Go ahead and give it a crinkle right there. I'm gonna do another mini loop right here. One more right here. And then just pull back like that. And then I'm gonna finish by dovetailing my ribbon right here. So cut going up. Like that. Cute. So that gives us some texture into the garland, and it's starting to look like a wreath around his neck. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my really beautiful ribbon that we used on our fireplace. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it on the floor once again, starting always by dovetailing. If you just start by the dovetail, then it is way easier to maneuver. So I'm going to go ahead and do right here a pinch. Then I'm going to do a loop. Always, it is also easier if you fold down and then you twist right here. You go ahead and grab that and then fold down, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a 3 loop like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring my third ribbon, which is my favorite, this mesh looking ribbon. So I'm gonna start by doing another loop, but I'm gonna do it the other way. And then I'm gonna bring it back up, and I'm gonna do a loop right here. For this particular one, I'm only gonna do a 2 loop like this. How beautiful is this, you guys? I just love all the sparkle in it. Then I'm gonna grab my wire, and I'm going to tie all of these together. Super easy, super simple. Just give it a really, really tight pull, and then you secure it by twisting. Make sure that you give a few twists. And so now we have a gorgeous bow. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut right here and right here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and install my bow right here. How cute is this? You can do it 2 ways. You can just do it by attaching the wire to the garland, what I'm doing, or you could also cross a bristle into the bow and then secure it right here in the middle. But for this occasion, I'm just gonna go ahead and dovetail right here. How cute is that? Then I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail this one right here, and I wanna make it as long as I can, like that. Oh, we have another one here with the dovetailing. You guys have called me out a few times on my dovetails already. All right, so far, how cute is this? This is absolutely gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab one of the picks, and this is the one that we use hanging down on the fireplace. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of these guys into smaller pieces, like this. I'm gonna cut this one into 3 or 2. This one is a tough one. You know quality when it's tough like that. You can hear it by snapping. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. So we're gonna start with this guy right here. And so I have my glue right here. I'm gonna dip into my glue. Make sure I get some of that glue. And then because we have this garland, I'm gonna go ahead and just put it right there. And we're gonna create a swag going around his neck. So I'm gonna do one right here. I'm gonna give this one a little curvature. Always remember to just give it a little crinkle so that way it looks more natural. Let it run down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab and right here. Look at that. Then I'm gonna add one going down So just give it a little crinkle. Add a little bit of your glue. You still want to go ahead and grab one of those bristles and then just twist it. The glue is just to secure it. Then I have a fourth one right here, so I'm going to go ahead and add it on the back just to make sure that it's even all the way around. So I put a little bit of glue on it. If you guys don't know about this glue, this is Flores glue. It's a pellet glue, so it is better than just your regular hot glue. Look how cute. All right, so then I have this other pick right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this into maybe two, and I do have two, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut them both at once. You guys know I like to cut all of my materials at once so I can insert all of my materials at once, because that creates balance in your arrangement. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just dip a little bit into my glue like that. And so basically we're just creating a lot of texture with this pick. Look at that. Oh my gosh, so pretty. So this reindeer is gonna look like he just went to the forest and he got caught into a beautiful forest of glitter cedar. What do you guys think so far? Isn't this fun? I really hope that you are enjoying this holiday series. And like I told you earlier, the best is yet to come. This is just the beginning of November, and I'm super excited to show you guys all of the ideas for this holiday season. I cannot wait. All right, so I'm going to do one more right here. And I want to know which theme has been your favorite. So far, we've done the rose gold, we've done the children's theme, and then now we've done this glam theme. And I really want you guys to leave me a comment down below and let me know which of all of them has been your favorite so far. All right, so then this is really, really fun. I'm going to go ahead and add some of these magnolias. So I'm going to cut a few of them. And probably 3 will do the trick. Like that. I want to go ahead and give it a little fold to the head like this. Dip into my glue. And remember, everything needs to come out of your bow. So go ahead and open that bow. Add that flower right there. I'm going to go ahead and add another one over on this side. Now, the arrangement on the fireplace, on the mantle itself, doesn't really necessarily have to be exactly like this one, like I told you earlier. They can be sisters. They don't have to be twin sisters. As long as they look like they are from the same family, then that's all that matters. This one got a little stain right here, so I'm going to go ahead and swap it for another one so it's not all stained. I think it got stained on my glue pan. All right, like that. And so I'm going to go ahead and give it a little curve like this. I'm going to dig into my glue and let it run down. And I'm gonna go ahead and add it right here. Look how cute is this? Oh my gosh. Now my favorite thing and element is this. Look at this berry, you guys. Isn't this just absolutely gorgeous? And it comes 3. Usually you would stick it into your tree and let it hang out like this. But for this particular project, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this guy short. So we're gonna do 3. Then look at this cluster, absolutely stunning. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip into my glue. Let it run like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start right here on the top. And I'm gonna add one like that. Oh my gosh, so gorgeous. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one a little shorter. Give it a little fold like this. Dip into this glue. This glue is absolutely amazing because it is weatherproof. So that means that you can put it outside and the weather will not affect it. Look how gorgeous that is. Absolutely stunning. And here's a longer one that I'm gonna put over here going towards the bottom. When you have something going towards the bottom, it is better if you secure it with a stem, but still go ahead and add some glue to this right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add like that, but I'm still gonna grab 2 of these stems and just swirl it around like this. So that way it's double secure. Okay, I have one more and I feel like I do need a few more. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these guys a little shorter. And probably 2 will do. How cute is this? I am having so much fun. All right, so I'm gonna add one more going this way, right there. And then I'm gonna add one coming over this way. Like so. And that is it. I'm gonna put this on our fireplace and I will give you a look of the end result. Keep watching, I think you're gonna like it. I really hope this video was inspiring to you guys and that you feel like you can take on the Christmas season 2026. I cannot wait to come back next week with even more episodes on this Christmas in July series. I'm having so much fun looking back into the DIYs, the decorating ideas, and all the inspiration, and I am really getting ready to kick it in gear for 2026 Christmas season. Thank you once again. I cannot wait to read your comments, so leave a comment down below and let me know what was your favorite part and if you are enjoying this Christmas in July series. Thank you once again for watching. Consider subscribing, and as always, you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.